this.
Oh, on the... Gotcha.
Yeah. This is how I record it. Right now, I actually don't have a capture card, so this is the best way to do it.
Cool.
Let me see. Can you move around?
Yeah, I can.
Right. Yeah, and you can pull stuff closer too if you want.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know how you normally do these. Like, do you, like, play friendlies and then, like, analyze them, or do you, like, go with, like... Because I have a few things that I, like, want to talk about.
Yeah, why don't you share what you want to go over right now?
Okay, so, like, most of the matchups in this game, I have, like, a general, like, game plan against. So, like, Peach, Fox, Falco, I have, like, a general game plan against. A couple characters I don't feel like I have a really developed, like, just general what I need to look out for, what they're looking for, is Falcon and Pikachu are two that I don't have a lot of ideas for.
Okay. So right now, like, as you're fighting Pikachu and Falcon,
I'm not sure what they're looking for. I'm not sure what the counters to their strategies are. I think it might just be as a result of me not playing against, like, having a lot of friendlies against these players. So, like, I've had a lot of trouble against, like, Nox recently, basically.
Okay.
One thing that I'm thinking is that I need to play more grounded. I think that going in the air against Falcon is almost always a bad decision unless, you know, I'm in the middle of a punish. Because he can sort of catch you out of the air with nair or up air. But then at the same time, when I'm playing grounded, I don't really... My gameplay, normally against a lot of characters, is involved around my short hop fairs.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to figure out how I can actually hit Falcon when I'm not jumping.
Okay. So you got some good starts right now, especially with things that you're thinking about, such as, right, you being in the air is not strong. How do I be on the ground and be strong, right?
Yeah.
And then you talked about, like, I do certain things in other matchups, right? So let's play 1 or 2 stocks for, like, real quick right now.
Okay, gotcha.
And then we'll kind of go over stuff as I see it, right? So far, like, your short hop fairs have been fine.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about it right now.
In your experience, when does it usually go wrong, these short hop fairs?
I think obviously, like, it goes badly when I jump when I'm too close to him, right? So it's like, I jump too close to him, he can run in and basically just up air on reaction. Because normally, like, so with Sheik, you short hop and then you do the fair delayed so you can get an auto cancel.
Like a falling fair?
Yeah, you do a falling fair.
Okay.
So I think that they can almost react to a short hop and then come in with, like, an up air or something.
Okay. So rising and falling fair are both auto cancel, right? So you can do two different versions, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then another thing you're describing is this, right? You're worried about that.
Yeah, yeah.
So why don't we play out the situation in which it fails so that we can see it more clearly, right? So you're gonna fair and I'm gonna up air it.
All right. Shit.
So, like, I'm not exactly getting under you.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So, like, as we get a clear picture of this, you're not losing to particularly me scooping you, right?
Yeah.
It's more like you're probably close and you whiff and then I hit you or something, right? Is that probably more what's likely happening?
Yeah, that might be it. Like, maybe it's, like, more of a, like, just they're getting a read on me jumping rather than a reaction. I don't think that it can happen on reaction. Because, like, obviously, like, there's a time period where I'm jumping and a fair's not coming out. So it's like, there is that window where I can be hit.
Yeah, and that's a read, right? Like, I have to jump into you as you're empty hopping, right? And that's why I mentioned the empty hop fair. The two different versions kind of cover different things, right? Can you show me rising fair?
Whoops.
Yeah. So, like, if I jump into rising fair, I'm just going to take the hit, I think. Right?
Yeah.
So there's both rising and late fair. And you can do the late fair pretty low, depending on what you want.
Yeah, because I can't even do like fast fall and then fair and then L cancel.
Yeah. So right now, you just need to change the different kinds of pressure you're doing. Because right now, I think you're only doing delayed aerial. Right?
Yeah, that is true.
Delayed aerial is just going to lose to instant aerial. Right? And this is a pacing thing, right? So like if you continually pace at delayed like this, I can know to come in, right?
Yeah.
But if you even mix it up one time, rising and then falling, the pace is so varied now, right? So the first one you do rising and then you land, and then the next one you do is low. Yeah, see, those are two very different timings.
It is, for sure.
That block different things, or stuff different things, right? So that's one thing, is that most of the time when you're fairing, it seems like you're zoning pretty good. Like, you're not doing full forward.
No.
Right? You're
kind of... that almost never works.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So you're kind of doing one of these, like, backflip
fairs.
Yeah,
I almost always do the backflip fair.
So mix in different versions, rising and falling, right? Those will kind of stuff me jumping at you.
Yeah.
Right? And if I'm jumping and winning like this, there's a couple things you can do, right? One is try to do that early fair we talked about.
Yeah.
But one of them is also just crouch.
Yeah. Should I be like doing dash forward crouch? And so like a lot of times, Falcons will do a sort of fade back nair, and I don't really know how to like. It seems almost unpunishable, right? But he is losing stage position by doing that, I realize.
Okay, so you're saying Falcon's doing this.
Yeah. Or sort of like they can do sort of a drift forward and backwards at the same time, like jump forwards and then drift backwards. And
so does it look like this? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So with this, nothing is too bad except for where he touches the ground.
Yeah.
Right? So the worst thing that can happen is like this. Right? If he's not hitting you with this move, the only thing he's doing is threatening the ground in between and trying to gain either ground or make you make a move or something.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So don't get baited into this thinking it's unpunishable, right?
Yeah.
The step you want to do is like get to here.
Yeah. So like, honestly, you can't. I don't think you can get like a direct punish, as in like get a grab or a hit or anything. I'm not thinking that I can get that, but like I want to be able to sort of get some kind of advantage out of a Falcon doing this kind of maneuver.
Definitely. So the way you're gonna get advantage is not from the first nair. It's where he lands, right? So if he does this, right, he's now here instead of here.
True.
Right? So instead of like thinking, how do I counter it starting from here? Counter it starting from here, right? So like, I do this, and then you wave dash forward crouch.
Yeah.
Right? So let's go back to the original positions. Right?
And then, I'm here, and then he probably won't be grabbing right after the nair, I'm guessing. I don't think most Falcons do that.
Yeah, the grab in place is a little weird. Yeah. Maybe a stomp, right?
Yeah, but then I can react to that with up tilt or something.
Maybe. And yeah, the point is that you stood in such a spot where you weren't touched, right? And you can do running crouch, you can do wave dash crouch, right?
Yeah.
But the point is like, you anticipate the next thing not being grab.
Yeah.
Right? Crouch only loses to grab or stomp, right? And you said you can beat the startup of stomp.
Yeah. Right. I almost never, like, if I'm ready for it, stomp doesn't really work very well.
Good. You can also roll or just nair. There's a lot of things that you can do, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But the point is like, there are times where you can just push your body into me. So like, we're here, right? And then you push your body into me. Yeah, exactly like that. And don't be afraid to do wave dash, because every time I see you doing a running crouch.
Gotcha. Yeah. I don't know. I feel more comfortable doing that for some reason.
Well, I'll tell you that wave dash crouch has more times you're holding down.
Yeah, true. So it's like I'm less likely to get sort of hit with I can crouch cancel just some sort of random thing that comes out.
Yeah. At lower percents, right, the ASDI kind of is like crouch cancel.
Yeah.
And then also your hitbox is harder to hit, right? You're lower.
True. Yeah, because dash I'm a little bit higher.
They're pretty similar. At the end of the day, they're pretty similar, right? But just get good at wave dashing too, because she's best when she's able to wave dash and forward tilt. Right, so even think about wave dash F tilt, from this space, right? So you can wave dash F tilt me from here.
Yeah.
Right, and these are tools that are gonna help you stay grounded better, because right now you're like running or dash dancing or something.
Yeah.
Instead of like just doing this, right?
Okay.
If you did a lot more of just this, you'd be on the ground and like, recreating this kind of space.
Yeah.
Right? And the more you recreate this space, the more like the only thing he can do is hard knee you, right? Or like hard commit to whatever, right?
Yeah.
So like anytime he hard commits, you make a decision, back up, get closer, like put yourself in this weird spot where he can't hit you. And all Falcon's shit has started up besides this one, and this one is dealable with, right? So like all of his aerials start getting weird when you're close to him and crouching.
Yeah.
Right? And if he's not grabbing you, you're grabbing him.
Exactly.
Alright, let's play stack up.
Alright.
Yes. Nice. That was awesome spacing. I can't believe they hit you. You're doing a little bit too much down tilt though when you're wave dashing because the range on it's not very good.
Yeah.
Right, if you had done a few wave dash forward tilts, you might have like actually hit me. But you're doing the spacing thing very correctly, right? Where it's like I want to get in at you, and then you reset it or get closer or react appropriately. Yeah, don't do down tilt, especially at this percent. That was sick. You were just so far from me.
Yeah.
No. Okay, I noticed you definitely doing the wave dash spacing better, and you definitely threw out just like tilts into my jumps.
Yeah.
Right, and that's sick because that's one of the lessons I was about to give you.
Yeah.
Which is, so you're like F tilt is bad below crouch cancel percent.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But I can't crouch cancel this F tilt, right? If you F tilt now, there's zero chance I can get in and crouch cancel.
Yeah, because you just don't have the speed to do it. Like,
yeah, exactly. So
it'll hit you before you're in, and even if you crouch cancel, you wouldn't really be able to do anything out of it.
I would have to add ASDI down, right? It's not real crouch cancel. But if I did do it perfectly, I would like grab you or something, right?
Yeah.
But what's sick though is you do this F tilt from this range, right? And do it again, right? It beats that. Right?
Yeah.
It beats me jumping at you.
For sure.
Right. So you definitely learn something innately, which is just be in a spot where you can read his jump or his approach.
Yeah, it's sort of like a Luigi, where it's like you kind of stay in his, like he has a sort of wave dash length, and then if you stay in the range where he's still in lag from his wave dash, you forward tilt it. And so I guess Falcon is kind of like that, except with his jump instead. Like the sort of startup of his aerials.
Yeah, exactly, right? So all of his aerials except for Nair, right, have startup, and you can deal with Nair.
Yeah.
Right? And so I try to give this lesson to everyone, which is you can pop Falcon out of the air all the time.
Yeah.
I do this with Mark Jab.
Okay.
Right? And F tilt is good with Sheik only when he doesn't crouch cancel, right? So
yeah, for sure.
Anytime you're far away from me, you can just try to reset the space like that, exactly, and hope I jump into you or run into you.
And then
things get harder when I do stuff like this.
Exactly. Yeah, full hopping.
Right.
Or like immediate double jump. Is that a Falcon thing?
Like that?
Yeah.
Sometimes. And it just depends on how you position sideways, right? So like, if I get close to you and I'm able to do this, I was able to kind of like get close to you and do a normal thing too, right?
So I have to be worried about that.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes when Sheik does F tilt, I kind of just do like a slow, like I could have need that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely like F tilt has a lot of end lag, so it's like it's punishable if I do it too close to you.
Yes. Right. So it's a matter of you gauging both distances, right, forward and backward, and kind of reading what I'm about to do, right? Because if I stop like right outside of F tilt, that's how I punish it.
Yeah, for sure.
But otherwise, it's pretty safe, right? At the long distance. And then you started doing also. I'd get close to you and you kind of like crouch a little bit, and so that's a little harder for me to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, like you have to attack me from the air, so it's like when I lower my vertical profile.
Yeah, it's definitely just harder, and your counterattacks are better.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, like low percent, like I mean, this is always a perpetual struggle with Sheik, right? Where it's like the reason that I think the reason that I always trying to rely on my like forward airs and stuff is because that's one of the safest ways I know to build damage. At low percent. It's basically that and grab, right?
Yep.
Or needles.
Tipper bear. You never showed me tipper bear.
Yeah, I didn't. You're right.
And you want to mix in those, right? So like the fact that you have two kinds of fairs now, just low and high, and then you can do like needle turnaround falling bear, or you do like one high and then you like waveland, or I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean she can do like full hop bear into like falling there, something like that.
Or double bear, or whatever it is. Yeah. And there's lots of mix-ups you can do where I have trouble coming at you unless I take like the tip of a move, right? So like turn around and do bears at me.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's times where like you can tell as I'm moving this way, you move this way too, right? And then you bear where you were.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right, exactly. Right. So like I come at you and you bear where you were, and then this is just another step towards building you out.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
The three safest ways, of course, are needle, grab, aerial, right? Tipper aerial.
Yeah.
Right. And then there are other things to explore that I talked to you about, like attacking out of his crouch hands.
Yeah.
Right, being away from him. You can bait him with needles and then sometimes throw out that F tilt or that fair that you like to do, right?
Yeah.
And it all depends on you just being aware that he can dash at you, and if he dash jump at you, right? And if he does, F tilt or whatever.
Yeah.
Good. You want to practice it out? You want to ask more questions?
Do you think that there's like one thing that I guess this probably doesn't work, because like when I think of things to do against spacies when I'm trying to build a little bit of damage on them at low percent, like short hop nair is like a really good way to do this, because it sort of goes over spacies short hops, and so if they try and come at me in nair, my nair kind of goes over it and it clips their head. But I think that Falcon has a lot better tools to deal with that kind of so it's like, let's say you're in the corner or something, and I know that you want to sort of run out and aerial at me, then I can sort of like throw out the nair. But I don't think that works against Falcon.
I don't think it's particularly good against people with far range. That's one. And against spacies, it's more like you're winning because you're hitting them like here.
Yeah.
Right? So the rising nair that you're showing me is good at contesting space, like vertically in front of her. Yeah. And you mostly do that as a counterattack or damage builder, not as like a keep me in here. Right? I don't think it's good pressure because I'm going to touch the ground and be an advantage.
Okay.
Right? Unless I'm at high percent and it knocks me away, right? Or like I do something and you counterattack it. Right? I would not focus too much on rising nair as a damage builder. I would definitely not. Yeah. This is good. That's good. It was clean and fast.
Yeah, the punish game I don't have as much of a problem with. It's just I don't know how to hit this stupid guy.
this is good. That could have been grabbed.
Yeah, I can't believe that didn't hit, honestly.
No.
I was scared though.
No. No. So your spacing seems pretty good. Getting a hit on him is more of a matter of counter initiating a lot of times.
Yeah.
He has more speed and more aggression than you, right? So like you pinning him down is a little difficult to begin with.
Yeah, no, that's why I have a lot of trouble against Falcon, I think. It's because that's usually my game plan, is to try and pin people down.
Yeah, and let's build towards that, right? Okay, so like let's say this is a real match.
Yeah.
Okay, in the beginning, you have no pressure in this scenario, right? So let's just go through step by step like a game, right? If this happens, right, and this is
if you jump towards me,
this is pretty likely to happen, which is you don't get to the middle as fast as I do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and I already get the middle, right?
Yeah.
Let's take this one step at a time. Sheik likes being in the corner because she's strong here.
Yeah, I can get a back throw and then do some stupid stuff with that.
You're strong at the edge. You can camp the edge safer than I can.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
So the point here right now is to not go to center too quick, not to hit him, but to establish the fight in your favor in terms of tempo, in terms of like control, right? So like
basically just post up here. Treat this as my like
in a way, right?
Kind of like this is the kind of place that I should want to be in.
I'm gonna put a pause on that because it's right and wrong.
Okay.
The reason is you can't fight the middle right now. You literally just can't throw your body into the middle and not expect Falcon to win in some fashion.
Yeah.
Right? But what you definitely can do is what we learned about like this space. You can recreate this space.
Yeah.
Right? So
if you're here, I just need to retreat here.
In some way, right? Like you can guard yourself in multiple ways. Like you're here and then you wave dash back to the spot that we talked about. Yeah, right? So the reason I tell you not to charge the middle is because Sheik's forward facing stuff is not as good as Falcon's, right?
Yeah.
And then you know how to deal with this. You know this spot better, right? So if I'm here, you respond accordingly by backing up a tiny bit or enough, right? But the point is now the fight is safe. You didn't have to make a move or risk.
Yeah.
You didn't just be like, Falcon's in the middle, how do I get to the middle? How do I get to, like, now you're like, okay, nothing's going on. He's gonna make a move. Okay, he makes a move. Or he doesn't, dude. If he doesn't, what the hell is this? This is nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Ultimately, at the end of the day, you have more counter initiation, or whatever the hell this word is.
Yeah.
Right? He has to make something. Right? So from here, dude, just play your strength, right? If he keeps pulling back, you inch up a little bit. Right?
Yeah, because like
we recreate this space, right? So if he keeps moving back, then you recreate this space, right? If he moves forward, you create a little bit, and then gauge, right?
Yeah.
So you like crouch cancel, or you wave dash back, right? Or you charge needles, right?
Yeah, I actually have a question. Can you like narrate me while I'm doing this? Because I want to see if I want to see if I can crouch cancel like ASDI down, grab it.
At low percent, definitely.
Yeah, because that would be really useful to know. Because I mean, like Falcon, if he sees me doing this, he's probably gonna be naring at me.
Yeah, and you just hold down, shield grab, and so you know this max distance kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
No Falcon is that's worth their salt is gonna attack.
Yeah, they're not gonna do the whole short hop line.
Exactly, right? So they're gonna get up close to you and then react, right? So it's a big matter of like respecting the space and knowing how fast he can go, right? So you charge needles and like maybe you like shield and nair.
Yeah.
Right? Like way before I'm even close to you, right? And then you have a plan for the nair and all this, right? A lot of it is protecting the spot too, which is if I keep pushing you down this spot, right? You should have defense planned as it happens, right? I'm not gonna just barrel down you invincibly the whole time.
I have to stop you at some point. I can't just like retreat forever.
I mean, you do have stronger abilities here than I do.
Yeah, I do, but like I don't really get much out of just being here, right? So
Yeah, eventually you have to make a play.
I gotta do something.
We're both getting to that part, but at the same time is assess properly, right? Don't feel too pressured just because he's here now.
Yeah.
Right? You're still okay.
Yeah.
The worst that can happen is like a knee or a grab or something, and like you have proper responses like here.
Yeah.
Right? The very, very worst thing that can happen from this position, in order for me to 0 to death you, is like...
You get a grab. Right?
Dude, like the best 0 to death I can do to you is like get you off stage without grabbing the ledge, rinse and repeat forever.
Yeah.
But like, you're fine.
Yeah. I'm at a low percent.
So the worst thing that you can do is just run at him.
Yeah.
And just play not good. Right? So play to your strength.
Yeah.
That was a risky.
Yeah.
Never after boost. Sick.
That's what's in there.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
I didn't mean to...
Delayed dash
Yeah.
deck.
I don't know how to do a dash dance, but Sheik's dash is so short.
Nice roll out. Nice. Good. You like keep setting up this big space between us, right? This space is what's letting you get this forward tilt.
Yeah.
Good. Really good, dude.
That worked.
No! Alright.
Alright.
I feel like your neutral spacing has gotten better.
Yeah. I definitely got something. I never like realized how sort of large Falcon's effective range is. And it's like, I think that I would always try and play like a little too close to him.
And so when you watch replays this upcoming week of Sheik Falcon, I want you to kind of appreciate this space and see, do other Sheiks play tighter and then move back?
Yeah.
Or do they just cut him off, right? And you'll notice like maybe your reactions are too slow and you should be like a little closer.
Yeah.
Right? And you can deal with his effective range differently, right? But this is how I teach neutral game to all my students, which is just recognize horizontal space, try to recreate it if things aren't going your way.
Yeah.
Right. Another big concept I think that you need to address right now is because you're pretty good at dealing with the startup of all of his aerials except for Nair, you really need to deal with Nair better.
Okay.
So, the first hit of Nair, right? There's two great ways to DI this Nair. One is straight up behind him.
Okay.
Most Falcons aren't going to drift with this Nair in such a way that they get the butt hit when you go straight past them, right?
Like SDI at that way?
Yes, SDI, right? So the single hit, just like Fox's up air, right? So weak hits are easier to SDI. So you take this hit and you move in past him. Or you take this hit and you move down. And when you move down, even if the second move hits, you're like here instead of here.
Yeah, exactly. So he doesn't actually like get to combo off it very well. Like he might get a tech chase, but that's about it.
Exactly, right? So the difference between the second hit, man, I'm never gonna get the second hit, right? So this second hit, if it touches you aerial, you go upwards. But if it touches you while you're grounded, it's sliding, right? So this is the big kill move, right?
Yeah.
When you get hit with...
I get messed up by that.
Exactly, exactly. This move pops you up, and then knee happens, right? So the big characteristic is you want to take the first hit in such a way that the second hit can either hit you while you're grounded or not hit you at all.
So I kind of treat it like Fox's up air, except, you know, sideways.
I go mostly down.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Down is the easiest one for me to connect to. Sometimes you can get behind them, right? But basically, when I nair you, you want to touch the ground and at worst do one of the knockdowns from the nair, right? So I don't know how to practice this besides just spam nair and you kind of just... A little bit. Why don't I jump in more of a predictable fashion?
Gotcha.
And then you kind of take the nair and then SDI. That was a little bit better.
Oops.
Yeah, see, so that one you SDI up.
Yeah, I don't even know how that happened, honestly.
It's probably...
maybe from the snapback, like,
Maybe. Alright, so, why don't you jump into me and I'll nair you?
Yeah.
Yes. And you can hold down and smash down, whatever helps you.
Normally I just sort of, like, tap the stick is how I usually do SDI.
Okay, there you went down a little bit, right?
I definitely
and you can do multiple inputs, so you go down and then corners.
Yeah. I've never been good at that thing where like you sort of like wiggle it. Yeah.
The thing I'll teach you is you go from one of the cardinal directions, right? So there's 4 cardinal directions.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you go to corner.
Okay,
you can never go from corner to cardinal.
Okay, so I want to like go down first and then to
wiggle.
the diagonal.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Right. So as this kick happens, and it's kind of hard for us to practice this in combat.
For sure.
But basically, you can literally run in and just kind of just smash down as it's happening.
Yeah.
You're getting better at the SDI, but I don't think you're going... Oh, that one was down. That one was down too.
Yeah, okay. The first one, I think I just didn't even jump.
That's fine. I mean, you can take this hit. Yeah, in SDI too. Let's get you a lower percent though. This will be a little easier. So, when I like am running around or anything, right, and I fear this nair, I just start holding down, just the same way we talked about the deal, right? Yeah, exactly, right. So just try to hold down a little bit better. Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm definitely not one of those people who just sort of naturally holds down. I think a lot of people are a lot better at it than I am. That's always one of my. I feel like that's one of my biggest like problems as a player.
There, you're making it really hard right now to get a second hit. No, down smash.
Oh, I didn't get the turn on.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Some more ways to control this horizontal spacing. Right, we talked about doing F tilt and then fair.
Yeah.
Needles, of course, at the longer range.
For sure.
And then you can also do vertical needles, right?
Yeah.
So anytime you want me to like stay behind, do you see where these needles are? So like if I run into them or jump into these, the farther needles are fine. Right. So you have ways of stopping the fight from getting too close, and then when they do get close, you have crouch to kind of stop me from jumping.
Yeah, and then I got forward tilt to stuff you when you jump.
Yep, exactly. The biggest thing I would also say in terms of getting successful damage is mastering tech chase better. And your tech chase is not that bad, right?
Yeah. A lot of times I'm like, I don't know if it's because of the computer setup. I feel like I'm missing my like dash backside of crouch or something.
You're getting.
I guess I'm getting them. Sometimes it's just hard to do them like in the moment, I guess.
Yeah, I'm still bad at that.
It's difficult.
You're probably better than me. Do me a favor. I want you to initiate combat me and do as much damage as you can. Okay.
Okay.
That involves tech chasing, edge guarding, whatever.
All right.
There's a possibility that you kill me, but if you don't, I'll tell you when to stop and we'll go over it.
Gotcha. All right. Oops.
All right, let's stop. All right. So, in your opinion, can you add damage in any way?
What do you mean? Like what
you
did
got
I
me
not
to
do?
You got me to 61. How could
Okay.
you have done this?
Okay, on that last down throw, you DI'd behind, which I can cover with up tilt or forward tilt or re-grab.
Okay.
My tech chases, I didn't hit all of them. Like in theory, I can just react to every tech.
Okay.
But then when I don't, I need to get a little bit better at my contingency plans of when I miss a tech chase.
Okay.
Like what your general like strategies to get out of the tech chase were roll.
Yeah.
So
most of the things I do otherwise gets kind of stuck by you.
Yeah.
But one of the hard things you're having time is rolling, right? So let's pretend. Let's do a tech chase, okay? I'm gonna not dive behind you, right?
Yeah.
And then just keep horizontal pressure on me.
Yeah.
And you'll kind of see what I mean, but down throw me and try for the most amount of damage. All right. So one thing I wanted you to get at was that you were supposed to stay on the inside most of the fight, right?
Gotcha.
And there was just a point in the fight where I was on the inside now, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back to this down throw and like try to keep me on the right side of the stage. Right. So one thing is you threw and then you kind of came close.
Yeah.
Right. Remember this big space? You might want to recreate it after the fight after you lose the tech chase.
Okay.
Right. And the reason is because I can come out of the corner now.
For sure.
Anytime I come in the corner and change you lost everything that you just worked on.
Yeah.
Right. So go back to here. This is better. This is better, right? So even when this nair connected, you were still on the inside.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm really getting at is don't reversal yourself. Don't give yourself a turnover, right? By pressing too hard. Right. And now we reset the fight kind of to like this distance again. And maybe you shouldn't have just attacked right away.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that I like went because that's just like my sort of autopilot option. When
you woke up fair, yeah.
Yeah, when someone's in the corner, I always just do this.
So like, when I was here.
Yeah, that's just like always for some reason that's my just automatic option when I see someone in the corners. I do this fair, which isn't as strong against Falcon as it is against a lot of other characters like Fox, Falco, Peach. That works really well against.
Okay, and those characters have a little bit worse, like 11 o'clock kind of, or 10 o'clock hitboxes, right?
For sure.
So that's one of the reasons. Another thing you can notice is that if you get anywhere close to me and crouch, the only thing that wins is grab.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, you're still a little too close. Like, I think this is, you want to stand, like, here, I think.
Gotcha.
Right. So, like, you have the option to wave dash back, and you have the option to wave dash forward here, right, and punish me. So if you can crouch from this position, I can only beat you with grab.
Yeah.
Right, and this is one of the strong ways of you keeping this position is not overextending, right? Coming towards me only when I'm in lag.
Yeah.
So let's try this down throw from here again.
All right.
That's good. I'm gonna try it again, and I'll tech out.
Yeah.
I'll tech to the right. That was close.
Yeah.
Right.
I just misread the length of the roll.
And you did this F tilt, and then tried to like dash back. Try to F tilt wave dash.
Okay.
Yeah. And you don't have to move too fast, right? You have enough time to like F tilt wave dash back, and like, you know, if the F tilt connected, you can literally dash attack after that, right? You don't have to commit to something. And then if you F tilt and it didn't work, now you're here. I roll back. You're ready.
Yeah, basically just like react to if the F tilt lands or not.
Not only that, but so you F tilted, wave dash back, and then you like started doing stuff like a little too fast. So what I'm saying is, when you do wave dash back, the point is to be ready. The point is not to attack the next thing.
Yeah.
Right. So if you down throw me here and then just like stay kind of at this spotish, you'll control everything. Okay, and you're still at center ground, right? So don't press too hard when the distance is only this far, because I'm jumping over your head.
For sure.
Right. You might need to reestablish control in a slower way. Yeah, like back here, right? That's good. You went in during my jumps. That's good. Right, and then Falcon does other ways, right? You can of course do this.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why I was just thinking about. He can like just sort of full hop over me probably.
Yeah. So look at this distance, right? If you look at this distance,
That's the furthest distance he can full hop.
Full hop drift.
Yeah.
This is with a dash. All right. So with a dash, it's pretty far.
Yeah.
Right. But you have time to react to like everything, right?
Yeah.
So when you're like a little bit closer, when you're like here, you have enough time to like pick a move, right? If I go anywhere, you have time to wave dash back, to react any way you want, right?
Yeah.
And then the mistake, of course, is to over commit on that corner.
Okay.
Do you want to write any of this down?
Yeah. I have a write down.
Cool. Thanks for subscribing, Seeker End. So we talked about crouching, right? Crouching near him.
Yeah.
F tilting start above aerial. Holding down against near. Not pushing too hard against the corner. My favorite metaphor for this is sand, dude. When you hold sand, if you clench too tight, it slips out.
Have you ever read the Tao Te Ching?
Yeah.
One of my favorite passages from that is, if you want to contain something, you must let it grow.
You're gonna contain Falcon in the corner.
Yeah.
By letting him grow. He thinks he has a way out. Boom! You wanna work more on this matchup? You gonna like kind of play friendly to solidify some ideas, or?
Yeah, let's play friendly real quick. I want to think about some things.
Sure. Nice. Nice down. No, Larfen, what are you doing to me? Great spacing. Yeah, really good spacing right now. Nice down. No, it's never gonna work. Alright, let's talk my ears. Nice up tilt. What a crazy character. I think your spacing was pretty good. You crouched in times I feel like you weren't crouching before.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I think one tough thing is just like me stomping you.
Yeah, that's definitely like usually like when I'm trying to commit to a crouching strategy, that's usually what makes me stop doing it, is getting stomped.
Yeah. Up tilt, nair, or wave dash just will help you a little bit. And you can always block, right? You can crouch into block.
Yeah.
Some of this requires just a little bit of practice, right? Where like you crouch.
No, yeah, that actually helps me all the time. Where it's like, so I remember recently I realized that I just never did the option of fair and dash back.
Yeah.
So I just sat down one day and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna practice fair and dash back for a little bit.
Exactly. And I literally.
So it's like practicing a crouch into block is like a really good way of getting myself to.
And then you can even nair out of that, right? Nair out of crouch, nair out of.
Nair out of shield.
Yeah, you can do all these things, right? And so I call these kicks, right? You want to learn specific kicks in different ways. The same as the fair dash back is a specific type of kick, right? You want to learn as many as you can in these situations that you were doing good in, but like one or two things stopped you from doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So like especially anytime I like running stomp you, like this loses to any form of you going backwards or up even.
Okay.
Right? So like I can't come at you and you be like full hopping.
Yeah.
Right? Or even at this space, right? This space you're so good.
Yeah.
But to beat stomp, you have to beat it like here, right?
Yeah, no, that's usually where I end up beating it. Like, especially like when Falcons go for stomp out of shield, it's like you can up tilt that.
Exactly, right? And it's because you're catching stomp out of shield, you're reacting to this, right? What you don't want to do is be reacting to like he's already here moving his body towards you.
Yeah.
Right. That's how you're losing to Stomp usually is his body's already moving at you instead of you triggering off of this.
Yeah. So it's like when he does that, should I be like expecting a stomp? Because this feels kind of like the sort of what I feel is like the inherent spacey mix-up in neutral, which is Nair versus Dare.
Well, both of these lose to F tilt, right?
Okay.
We described running jump losing to you stuffing him out, right?
Yeah.
So there's only one way it doesn't beat you, which is you somehow didn't put a move out while I was coming at you on top of you, right? And sometimes this happens. You crouch or you wave dash back thinking I'm not going to overcommit, and I just, you know, the difference between me jumping from here and me jumping from here is hard to tell where I started from.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? I can literally just delay it by
usually
frames.
we're both moving too.
Exactly. Right? So, if you're worried about stomp, you can do that early fair I mentioned.
Yeah.
Right? This early rising fair should not lose to stomp.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it would lose to Nair. Maybe.
Well, this one is a good trade.
Yeah.
My soft Nair, your hard fair, right? The second one, if we even trade, I mean, how bad is that? Do you have more hits done than me? Do I, like, you know?
Yeah, it's about even.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing, right? But know that when you're at this distance, he's not nearing you like that particularly, like, right? He's more likely going for knee or stomp from this distance,
For
right?
sure.
Because to guarantee you the second hit, right? You don't want this second hit touching low to the ground and you crouching it, right? So he's never gonna full range nair you like that.
Wait, so why don't Falcons do Nair from that distance?
This is what I'm explaining to you, right? So crouch, right? Like I'm doing max nair, and this is just gonna hit you, and you're gonna just crouch cancel it and grab me or something, right? There's no way for me to get the aerial version of this second hit, and the aerial version of this second hit is the only good part.
Okay.
Right. Remember what we talked about earlier. If you're knocked down,
that's the only time that Falcons want to hit me with Nair. Basically, it's either to hit me when I'm in the air with the second hit.
Yeah.
That's what they really want.
Yeah, or it's standing second hit, right?
Okay.
If you're grounded in any way, like low or getting knocked down, at best it's a tech chase.
Yeah.
At worst, you just like escape somehow, right? But if he connects it in the air, now there's room for him to run after you.
Yeah, and I get air wobble and stuff.
Yeah, you know, maybe you hard DI out, but like he's still chasing you with advantage.
Yeah.
Right. But anytime this hits, not that bad. Anytime second hit hits like that, right? Low, like that's if you're here under this foot, nothing bad can happen.
For sure.
Right. So don't be scared to throw fair at this range unless you think I like read it and knee you.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, and like sort of react to it and then hit me on the landing. Yeah, that's what I'm always scared of is the end leg. Because like there's a lot of time where I'm vulnerable after the fair.
Spot touch.
Yeah, I definitely do that.
Shield, you know. Have different ways to cover it up. You can fair roll.
I've never actually done that before.
Dude, think about how far you are from where you started.
Yeah.
It auto cancel. Right? So like these little things that stopped you from doing sure how fair also stopped you from like countering him jumping at your face.
Yeah.
Right? So don't dismiss something. You know, try to work it out.
Yeah.
Alright, we got about 10 more minutes in our lesson.
Okay.
Do you want to move on to another topic?
Yeah, you want to talk about Pikachu for a little bit? Do you know about Pikachu?
I know the very basics of Pikachu.
Okay.
Here's what I'll tell you, is that from this distance, he can run near you, right?
Okay.
And this is the soft one. This is, if you stand up, I can do better.
Yeah.
This is the hard one, right? The hard one is kind of like Fox's snare.
Yeah.
Right? So basically, if you fight Pikachu and you find yourself at this distance, he literally can't hit you.
Yeah, because Dash and Air won't reach.
Yeah. Right? And his grab range is not that good. And
For sure.
Like, really, his biggest power is this stuff, right? The dash dance.
Yeah, definitely.
His initial dash and his horizontal jump, right? So if you can be aware of how this move is going to interact with you, there's a lot of times this move is soft, right? So come closer to the stage. And we talked about Falcon Nair, right? This is the same, right? There's not a lot of advantage I have besides maybe if I land behind you.
Yeah, that's really the thing that worries me. Because like most of the time when I play against like Iron Tricks as the Pikachu I'm thinking about, right?
Okay.
So he nairs at me and I'm like, okay, Nair, I crouch cancel that. I crouch, and he nairs, and he goes over me. Then I'm like, okay, now I don't know what to do.
He goes over you. Do you mean he crosses you up?
Yeah, basically like that.
Okay. So notice how when you do nothing, it turns you to the way you were hit, right? So if I hit you on backside, oh no, I hit you on front. Okay. Well, you have enough time to F tilt or crouch cancel, right? So like do that, crouch cancel, and then react appropriately. Even if I'm behind you, you can like F tilt it.
Yeah.
Right. I think you're acting too fast out of crouch. You have to like wait for the hit to connect. There you go. There you go. Right.
That was weird.
Sometimes I feel like you're just attacking too fast, right? So after the nair hits, especially if it's soft, you have enough time to like look. Right. Yeah. So one is crouch cancel really messes up me. Right.
Yeah. I knew that. I just have never been able to really implement it very well.
Okay. So one thing is distance, right? You want to not crouch when it loses to things that crouch loses to, right?
Yeah.
Same with Falcon. Crouch lost to stomp and grab. Pikachu doesn't have stomp. Right? This is not one of her viable moves.
Yeah.
And her grab range sucks. Right? So apply the same concept we just talked about with Falcon, which is stand at the respected range or the threat range, right?
Yeah, which is a little bit closer than it is with Falcon.
Yeah, because her moveset is not as good, dude. Or Pikachu, whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know, crouch, anticipating not grab, right? And then if I do try to grab you, you can spot dodge or wave dash back F tilt, right? So that's a lot of the neutral game, right? Needles mess up Pikachu pretty bad, and I literally can't do anything to you when you're crouching.
Okay.
Right? This is my best move when you're crouching.
Yeah. Yeah, because I can crouch cancel up air.
You can crouch cancel everything.
Okay.
Like, Pikachu's moveset's pretty bad.
Up smash, I think, knocks me down. Like, if I'm crouch canceling.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
But, I mean, I have to run up and up smash you. Like,
that's
that's me committing all of this and no jump, right? I'm not attacking at your face level. I have to just wait until this, right?
But would I be, so in that situation, I see Pikachu running towards me. I notice she hasn't jumped yet. Does that mean I sort of react with like a wave dash back, F tilt, or like, so I notice that she's run like far enough and like Nair is not going to like come out and hit me. So then what do I do there?
Alright, so Pikachu is doing this, right? If Pikachu ever stops dash dancing and enters run, right? So this is run, right? This is not a real approach. Pikachu's never going to run at you on all fours.
For sure.
Pikachu's going to do one of these.
Yeah.
Right? So as soon as run is real, jump is what's going to happen. Right? Pikachu will never run at you on all fours and do this. I mean, maybe. Right? Most likely, this is going to happen. So what do you do when this happens with Falcon?
Crouch and then
readjust the space.
Yeah, readjust space.
Exactly. Okay. Right. And because you're able to crouch all of her moveset, you're not in threat during this process of you doing these things, right?
Yeah.
Like you're half crouching, half wave dashing, readjusting this position, and just making sure that every move Pikachu does on you is a bad move on crouch, right? Pikachu's never on top of you doing this move, or grab, or like, I don't know, hard aerial into runaway shenanigans, right? Every time she's fighting you, it's on some horrible turn.
Yeah.
Right? And until you get her out of crouch cancel percent, or this percent, right? Like, dude, you can down throw, kill me probably. Try it.
Not off of...
Alright, that's close. Yeah, that was close. And that's really just the matchup, right?
Yeah.
It, like, the same ways you were setting up grab or other stuff with the Falcon, it's more devastating on Pikachu. The damage output, what she can do against it, right? I'm not gonna like avoid grab and then want to kill you.
Yeah.
Right? Like Falcon Stomp needs you.
For sure.
Right? So you have more leeway in that term in this battle, which is Pikachu can't just get on top of you and zero to death you, right? It's over a matter of time. Like, you lose positioning, they combo you, you get edge guarded and rinse repeated, right? So do yourself a favor and don't take easy damage, right? Pikachu getting you to 144 should be a humongous effort for her,
Yeah.
right? Because her damage builders are not that good, right? She doesn't have a free projectile. She doesn't. I mean, I'm not doing this to you, like literally the whole game, right? So, anytime you're crouching, needling, grabbing, or just making Pikachu do the work, you're awesome.
Okay.
Getting her to recover is a little tougher. I've definitely seen some Sheiks down tilt that, some Sheiks needle that.
Yeah, you can, because they're usually coming from the top, so you can needle it.
Yeah. That's the biggest reason I don't beat Pikachu. The biggest reason I don't beat Pikachu is I can't confirm a kill.
You can't kill her,
Yeah, as Marth, right?
If I get a grab, then it's
You
just
get a
like,
kill. Exactly.
Yeah, it's like grab, then not fair.
Or any, yeah, exactly. If we were traded percents, I'd just be dead.
Oh, that's right. I thought I was reading your
You're like, wait, he didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, because you can recreate the grab situation at every percent that you're at, even at 150, dude, 150 crouch. Right? The best I got was a knockdown into me guessing again.
Yeah.
Right? So, because you have this advantage of not dying ever, just build damage on her and play safe.
Okay. I see that.
Right? There are a couple characters that can't kill you. Right? The only way I'm killing you is Edgeguard or like for right? Some stupid shit like this, right? But in most combat, in most instances, in terms of damage, the more you crouch, the less damage you're gonna take.
Okay. You're gonna turn me into a dirty downholder.
I am, and it's probably because just because you're not doing it just enough.
No, I'm definitely not. I definitely know I have known for a long time that's one of like the biggest holes in my gameplay is not holding down enough.
I do this too, right? So like as Marth, I'm doing short hop fairs, same way that you're kind of doing them. Except Marth is better at them, right? Well, Foxes just started jumping at me, right? And my missing tool was I just wasn't crouching.
Yeah.
If Foxes jump at me, I can do this and wave dash back, or do this and I don't know, do something. Right?
Yeah.
So the more that one thing loses, the more you mix in one other thing to just be okay, right? Just like rock paper scissors, right? You don't need 5 tools. You just need 2 or 3.
Okay.
And Sheik is the best at that. Needles, down throw, tipper aerials. You're already doing most of that shit.
Yeah. So I think the thing I really need to get through my head is like what and I know on like a surface level the point of crouch canceling is to block crouch cancelable moves, but I do crouch canceling as a proactive measure, or do I do it?
Sometimes.
Okay.
So,
remember we talked. A lot of times I feel like I sort of it's like I'm playing at Pikachu, and I'm just holding down over here. He can see that I'm holding down, so he's not going to come in near me, right?
Well, let's say he comes here. You wave dash back, right? And we're in the same position again.
Yeah.
Right? And so there are times maybe you charge needle, maybe you're F tilting here, maybe you're fairing, right? But ultimately, as soon as you see a distance that you think I'm gonna jump, crouch is very strong.
Okay.
It doesn't lose to anything from here, dude. Right? Like you no risk throwing out crouch. It cancels into everything. Right? And that's what I was getting at with me versus Fox. If Fox is jumping at you, that's when you want to crouch, right? He can't grab you.
Yeah, but he can drill you.
Okay, so you wave dash back, or you ASDI the drill, or I don't know, jump, right? You jump into the drill as it's happening.
Yeah, and then you can grab it.
Yeah. So you want to proactively do it in response to jumping, or in response to certain spots. Like if you're here and I'm just playing kind of sloppy, right? And you're always just holding down, you're gonna get something.
Yeah.
Right? And you didn't have to come at me and engage and then not be crouch canceling and take 3 nairs, right? That's how you take damage. You take damage from going for something that didn't work.
Yeah, usually, a lot of the time I think I'm going for crouch cancel and then I try and do a move too early. I want to hit them out of their move before my crouch cancel actually activates.
Exactly, right? And if you're doing something, you're not crouching.
Exactly.
You can't, right? So, just appreciate when you don't have to put in the work, right? Especially switch positions. Here, how can I fight you crouching in any way? I literally have to grab you from the corner.
Yeah.
Right? So, here, you can just wait for me to jump. Maybe you fair it, maybe you F tilt. Exactly, right? You don't have to do anything.
Okay.
Right? you're in such a good position. It's all up to Pikachu to make this move, right?
All right.
So Pikachu does this jump, and you respond. I don't know. You fair it. You F tilt it. You wave dash back. Or block it. I don't know. Crouch. All these are fine due to the fact that you now know that nothing you can do can be that badly beaten.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, yeah, because I think one of my problems is that maybe I try and, like, so if I establish this position, then I usually think, like, okay, now I can capitalize now that I've established it, and then I go in because I think that they're going to be, like, dash dancing or something.
But one is, Pikachu doesn't want to dash dance here. I have nowhere backwards to go.
Yeah.
Right? And go for a grab again. This is just lose.
For sure.
Right? So don't lose by choice. Lose because the other person was, you know, he won rock, paper, scissors, or like, you know, right? So like, definitely voluntarily keep strong position, and when you say I need to capitalize this, what you really want to say is don't let him pass me.
Okay.
Right? Not get the grab now. It's don't let him pass me. Or, I mean, if you do, it's fine. Like, we're both in the center, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Keep him off. Those are like the big words, right? Not grab him now. This is good spacing.
At 0%, yeah, I mean, we should be up throwing. Because up throw, up smash works at like from about 0 to 20, I think.
Nice.
It's really dumb.
That was up smash.
Yeah, it was, for sure. Yeah, I think I also just need to grind out Punish Game against Pikachu, because I've just never even, like, honestly done it before.
Do it by weight class. So, like, Pikachu is similar to other characters in this weight class, right?
And yeah, I usually think of characters as being in, like, you know, the fast faller, and then midweight is like Marth. I think is being exemplary of midweight.
Marth, Sheik-ish a little.
Yeah, Sheik is like sort of in between fast faller and midweight, and then Peach is like a floaty.
Yeah.
So like usually the only characters that I practice Punish Game on are like Fox, Marth, and Peach.
So Pikachu's a little bit more like Sheik.
Yeah.
Right. Where you can get some chain grabs, and she's just not that heavy, right?
Yeah. Chain grab doesn't work for very long though.
No, but down throw to kill works now, just like Sheik, right?
For sure.
So just recreate these, and you don't have to work too hard on like which move is which. Right? Just if she's close, up smash, up tilt, F tilt, or you know, just like reposition into another grab.
Okay.
Like if you really think you did it wrong, you probably just needed to grab again. Right? Like you down threw me, and I like rolled out, and then you just boost grabbed me. Or like you down threw me, and I like jumped attacked out, and you waited under me, and you grabbed again. Right?
Yeah.
And eventually down throw just kills.
Yeah, no, I'm usually looking for a grab. That's like 90% of matchups, honestly.
And you don't have to like, yeah, exactly. You don't have to like down throw, snipe my jump with up air. Right? You can literally just wait below me as I jump, and I come down, and then you just grab me.
Yeah.
All right. So that was about the hour.
Okay.
Larfen, let's write down all the last notes we talked about. Make sure you can go home with something. This guy's trying to tell you that falling up air beats your crouch cancel.
I'll try it. I mean, it knocks me down.
Go to 0. Go back to 0.
Yeah.
but loses to F tilt. So you just F tilt that falling number. Yeah, I think you're fine for a while. But yeah, yeah, you can just F tilt me before I think that the thing even comes out.
I tried to right there, and then I got popped up.
Yeah, maybe it's just worth crouching it.
Yeah.
So a big thing we learned today was crouching at distance, anticipating their jump, horizontal threat space.
There's definitely the Mewtwo King Sheik.
Yeah, dude. His Sheik plays this distance so safe.
Yeah.
And he'll throw a lot of needles.
Yeah, that's definitely what I think of when I think of Mewtwo King's Sheik, is like using forward tilt and then like short hop nair. I see him use a lot of short hop nair against Pikachu actually.
It's because like remember I said don't use aggressive nair. The get off me nair is fine because it's so hard to punish this, right? And because you're strong at the edge, it's okay to like semi corner yourself.
Yeah.
Right? As long as you have a plan to get forward. So yeah, horizontal threat range. Deciding when to go in, of course. Watch Mewtwo King and other Sheiks, right? And like watch their horizontal space, how they pressure stuff. And then we talked also about like how you deal with pressuring me at the corner, right? Exactly.
Yeah, I just gotta like wait.
Yeah, keep the space in, like don't let him in.
Yeah.
Not go after him.
For sure.
Yeah.
Rude. Alright, cool stuff.
Yeah, man. GG's. Do you know about Barrel Buster and some other practice modes I teach?
Yeah, I practice Barrel Buster pretty good. I have a
cool.
I always keep a record. I think my record's 170 or something like that.
Nice. With Sheik, that's pretty decent. I don't think I can break 180 with Sheik. Here's another one I do, which is why don't you actually do this?
All right.
I want you to pick Sheik, pick any character, and set him to evade. Yeah, perfect. And then just treat this like a real fight, and just try to approach and to deal controlled damage. And then notice when you attacked him, like which spots you were open, right? You did like a reset, you could have done something, or you let the tech chase go, but then captured it again. Could you have done that better, right? What I like about this is that it tests your approach on moving people, and it tests that you're accurate, right?
So when I go home this week, what should I do when I'm like trying to practice melee?
Okay, so a few things are moves that you're not familiar with, like those kicks that you want to learn, right?
Yeah.
So you talked about fair dash back, right? Try to think of other things you would like to do that you're not good at yet, or just be creative. Like we talked about crouch into shield or crouch into nair, right? When you just think about these things, try them out, right?
Yeah.
And the best way I can say to mix these in is to switch between all of them, right? So like you ledge dash F tilt into crouching nair.
For sure, yeah, that's something I always use to practice. Like, I usually it's based around shield drops, where it's like I do fair shield drop or wave dash into shield drop.
Yeah.
Or,
And so what I like about this, Larfen, is that you're adding complexity in controlled manners, right? And you're step-by-step learning. So like now you can learn wave dash F tilt into stuff, right? Or stuff into wave dash F tilt, right? Definitely practice that. Definitely practice. I think as far as tech skill, I can't really give you much besides Barrel Buster in this because
yeah,
you
that's
just have
really,
to drill.
Yeah, Barrel Buster really helps. Like, I usually use Barrel Buster because I'm practicing like shield drops, like because shield drop fair is like the most busted thing in that game. So that really helps me like sort of cover shield drops in a sort of tense situation in some sort of sense.
Yeah, attacking different spots quickly. Yeah.
Because I want to be a high score.
Yeah. Try approaching Falcon.
Okay.
Right, like it seems like you're good against Fox. Like I would definitely do this mode with characters that you have worse punish games on, or harder times attacking in neutral, right?
Oh.
He's like, why isn't he moving? Right. So like, in game, you're not gonna exactly dash attack and more fair in this way, right? So like, try to pin him down and anticipate things, or like play more in a natural way, right? Instead of just shove my body into him.
Yeah, that's definitely how I usually practice against CPUs. Is I just like try and just get my grab and then hit him.
Yeah. Right. So try to normalize it this way, right? I think maybe that was supposed to be fair.
Yeah, I should have been. I was trying to be a cool guy.
Okay. Nice. Good. Alright, and you can do this with all different characters,
For sure.
especially characters that your combo game is a lot weaker against, right? Because you mentioned you're good against fast fallers.
Yeah, somewhat. Like I'm not good against any character, honestly.
Okay. Well, your punish game seems okay, right? To develop the skills by yourself, definitely do the drills that you've been doing, wave dashes, ledge dashes, all these things. Think about attacks a little differently, and like I said, those kicks, right? Fair into wave dash back, or all these things. Another big thing to just help you improve, though, is watching. I think you need to watch Sheik and take more what I call snapshots. So pause the game in certain game states, and just ask yourself questions.
Like, usually when I try and break something down, it's like, what can both people do right now?
Yeah.
It's like,
I go pause and ask yourself what is about to happen, right? And then you press play and something happens, and you go, okay, this has happened. You pause it again. Well, what is about to develop? Does he push this forward? You know, ask these questions and don't be afraid to do things like replay. Like, how did Sheik build more damage than I did? Right? Did he get lucky? Did he wait for tech chase? You know, when is Sheik crouching? Right? Ask yourself: is he crouching in combat preemptively? Is he crouching after he attacks, like he does fair into crouch? Maybe you do F-tilt crouch. Yeah. Maybe you do F-tilt spot dodge, right? Or crouch out of spot dodge, right? All these things just require you to think about what's bothering you right now and to find solutions to them.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. In a tournament, of course, just make sure that you're fighting the way that you learn to fight, right?
Yeah. No, it's definitely a hard thing in bracket, is where it's like, it's really easy to devolve into old problems.
Yeah. And it's because you need to address them at home, right? You need to say, like, if I feel uncomfortable in this way, I'm going to play uncomfortable. So what is it like to play uncomfortable? What is it like to, like, only back air or, like, be in spots where I'm not used to, right?
No, that's actually something that I can actually take away from this, because I'm usually I try and play to avoid being in spots I'm unfamiliar with.
Well, when you practice, you should go through them, right? In tournament, you don't want to be in spots you're unfamiliar with.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Right? But this happens with everyone, which is, I practice what I like.
Oh, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
You want to practice what you're weak at.
For sure. Alright.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
A lot to learn.
For sure. No, I was like,